What's up, fellas? Welcome to the Cloud Gaming X channel. So today we are going to be doing another reaction video to Boogie. Now this guy has done several Stadia videos where he, is optimistic. He isn't bashing it completely. He has high hope. He is one of the guys that actually went to the E3 event and tested Stadia out, and he had some pretty positive things to say. But this video is just, I haven't watched it yet, but straight stating that Google Stadia is likely to fail. Stadia convenience versus pricing. This is interesting because it's like he just switches from Google Stadia potentially can be successful to Google Stadia is likely going to fail. So let's take a look, listen to this and see what he has to say. Alright, let's get it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live listening to the power.
What's up, Boogie?
Today I want to talk to you a little bit more about Google Stadia.
Okay.
So when Google Stadia first got announced, we were all kind of excited because we were picturing it as the Netflix of video games, streaming video games, that we would pay one flat fee a month of maybe $15, maybe even $20 a month and get access to all of these great games that we didn't have to have a gaming PC or a gaming console to play them on. And at the time, it made a lot of sense that maybe that's what Google was trying to do because there's already services like that, like PlayStation.
Okay, so maybe that's what Google is trying to do, right? Like Netflix for gaming, and they've stated in the MMA that Stadia is not Netflix for gaming. So this is an assumption you assumed, and a lot of YouTubers are assuming, sorry about that, a lot of YouTubers are assuming that Google Stadia is supposed to be the Netflix of gaming, where you pay monthly fee and then you get to stream all the games for free. That's what he's assuming right now. So let's keep going.
PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass, who give you access to all of these great games for one low monthly fee. By the way, Xbox Game Pass remains the best value in gaming out there, period.
Yo, okay, sorry to cut. I'm gonna not cut this much, but Xbox Game Pass remains the best value for. Yo, Microsoft, this is the third person right now that is bigging up Microsoft, xCloud, or Xbox when it comes to Google Stadia. I mean, seriously, how much are you paying these YouTubers, bro? Straight up. He's like praising, why are you even praising Microsoft right now? We talking about Stadia and you bring up Microsoft, but let's keep going.
Google Stadia launches in November, and now we have most of the details we would want, and I want to go over those details today. I want to talk about the good and the bad, and why I think most likely Google Stadia isn't a place where it's most likely going to fail.
Okay.
But before we dive too deep into this topic, let me go ahead and say this video is sponsored by the folks over at Audible.
Oh no, he did not.
The largest collection of audio.
No, he did not. So Audible is sponsoring this video. Are you kidding me right now? So Audible is sponsoring this video, right? Let's go to see who owns Audible. Audible. Sorry guys, my spelling is off. Audible. It's Audible and Amazon company. Amazon announced it would buy. So Amazon owns Audible. Amazon bought Audible for $300 million, right? So again, we're talking about Google Stadia, and he's already talked about Microsoft, and then he's saying Amazon pretty much is sponsoring this video. Come on, y'all. Are we not seeing the pattern here, yo?
Entertainment in the entire world.
Come on.
But not only does Audible have a ton of stuff to listen to, it's just so easy to use. Recently, I've been listening to Stephen King's It, and this is like my third time through that audiobook.
Let me hear no Audible.
You get 3 titles each
My
month.
goodness, how long is this?
But not only does Audible have
it's almost a minute sponsor. Come on.
Because all Amazon Prime members between now
this is ridiculous.
a free trial, you'll be
it's still going.
Access to video games. Starting off, Google Stadia does one thing, and it does that one thing very, very well.
Okay.
It gives you access to video games either at 1080p or 4K, either 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, without having to buy a gaming console, a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, or a gaming PC. As long as you have a Google Pixel, a device that runs Chrome, or a television that you can plug a Chromecast into, you can play high-end video games that look really sharp.
Okay.
If you're a gamer who likes to play video
Facts.
games on the go, no longer do you have to pack up a gaming console. You don't have to bring your Nintendo Switch with you. You don't have to worry about gaming hardware at all. All
Okay.
you're going to need is a device that runs Chrome and your Google Stadia controller, and you can play just about any video game out there. It doesn't matter if it's Destiny 2 or Wolfenstein or the new Doom or the...
I gotta say he's accurate with information. Normally some YouTubers like just talk nonsense, but facts wise he's on point. You gotta give him that.
anything new. The new Witcher is going to be on Stadia. It's a chance to play all of these games without bringing
Has that been
console or hardware
confirmed?
with you.
Which is
But
gonna be
even
in
if you
Stadia?
are this idea customer that Google has in mind, chances are you're going to be turned off by some of the issues facing the platform. First off, there's the basic problem of latency, and basically, even though it's not as bad as you would think, there is still some time delay between when you press a button on the controller and what's happening on the screen, and that time delay in certain games is definitely going to make a big difference. But Google Stadia published this chart, and if you take a look, it's not that much worse than an Xbox One X, but still it's worse enough to where in some scenarios it's going to matter. And then there's the matter of resolution and frame rate. And here's the thing, they are promising up to 4K 60 frames per second with 5.1 surround sound, but you're going to have a pretty solid internet plan to get that. And even if you have that internet plan, there's always going to be some level of hiccups, either with your hardware at home or the hardware between you and the Google streaming place. So at the end of the day, you're going to experience some issues that you wouldn't experience on a console or on PC. Now, obviously, if you're one of those players who do not want to play video games that are always forcing you to be online, bad news, obviously every video game you get, even if it's a game that wasn't designed to be played online, will have to be played online if you purchase it on Google Stadia. Once you purchase the game, to get the 1080p version of the game, you're still going to need about 20 megs down, which is about twice the national average for internet speeds in America. I mean, take a look at this chart of America, and you'll realize that anywhere that's in the red, and even some of the places that are in the lighter colored blue, will not have internet speeds fast enough to reach the 1080p, the free tier of Google Stadia. So it's just not going to be a service most of the country is going to be interested in. Even if you are the target customer, and you are like me, and you travel a lot, and you want to play video games on the go, it's going to be very difficult to do it, especially when you're traveling through these red areas. And then if you're trying to do it on your Pixel phone, well, good luck with that. Because even with 5G in some areas, it's still not fast enough to hit a half decent stream. And don't forget the issue of data caps. A lot of us are having trouble downloading big games because we have data caps in place. Well, imagine when you're streaming those exact same games and you're streaming them for a lot longer than it took for you to download it originally, you're going to hit data caps even quicker. There are going to be people out there who pay for a game that simply cannot play it because their internet service provider has.
So I have to say, sorry to pause, but this guy, honestly speaking, so far is on point. Just nothing I disagree with. And I just want to say kudos. Again, I'm not like trying to bash everyone that speaks net, but like if you're making good point, I want to give credit where credit is due. This guy has been pretty accurate so far. One of the few YouTubers I've seen. It's pretty cool.
But the biggest issue facing Google Stadia right now is its own pricing structure, because if this was the Netflix of gaming, I think you would have a lot of gamers spending that $10, $15, maybe even $20 a month to get access to these games, but that's not how this system works. Instead, you have to purchase your games outright. And here's how it works. There is a free plan. If you purchase a video game for $60 through Google Stadia, then you can stream that game without spending any extra money. If you get, say, Doom Eternal, you can play that game anywhere at any time up to 1080p with 60 frames per second in stereo sound. And that's probably going to be good enough for most people's on-the-go internet or in most of the red states. The downside is, with the base version, there are no perks other than being able to play your games through a cloud system, which is an inferior system, either playing it on your own hardware via gaming console or PC. You're going to have to deal with all of those internet issues, those internet cap issues. You're going to have to deal with a lot of issues to play the same game you could play on Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, or a PC or a PlayStation. It's just nonsense.
But it's free though. It's free. Yeah, you're gonna have to purchase the games, but it's free. So why are you complaining? It's free. Xbox, you're gonna have to purchase the game digitally, and you're gonna have to purchase a console. The Stadia base is free. So
nonsensical to want to spend the same amount of money for a more annoying version of the game. Now, Google will say with our Stadia Pro version, we do have plenty of perks. Not only can you play that video game you purchased up to 4K 60 frames per second with 5.1 surround sound, but you can also get free games released regularly. Now, the problem with this is the very first flagship game they are offering is Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 has announced that they will be going free to play very soon anyway, so you're basically getting nothing in the first month, and that is their flagship offer. If it had been something like Doom Eternal, I would have been a lot quicker to bite, but it's not going to be. It's going to be a game that's going free to play anyway. There is one good thing about the high-end version of Google Stadia, and that is for your $9.99 a month, you will get deep discounts on video games. And where we haven't seen examples of that, if you were just to save $10 off each game you purchase on Google Stadia, then eventually you will be making a savings. And I think the biggest mistake here is they're not doing that for the free tier as well. There should be some discount, some incentive beyond the fact that you can stream these games to make you purchase games even for the free plan.
But why? Why should there be an incentive? You're getting the service for free. Being able to stream in 1080p, it's free. Xbox is not offering a free version. The GeForce Now, no one is offering a free cloud gaming service. This is free, so really they don't have to offer an incentive. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But it's free, so why not try it?
And if it's a much deeper discount for the higher tier, then that's great. But it's Google we're talking about. They can afford to take a loss and get me my video games cheaper. And that is, I think, one of the biggest...
Gosh, really? That's your argument to why they... Oh my goodness, sorry. So you're saying it's Google, the big company, so they should take the bite to offer you a discount of free game because they're Google, and that's not how businesses are run. Yeah, they have the money to do so, but if you want to be profitable, you can't offer free stuff or discounts. That's not how businesses are ran. Oh, pity you. We should have pity because Google has money and you don't have as much money as Google, so we should offer discounts to you. Come on, dude.
Situation, it is high inconvenience with low value because it's cheaper and more convenient to just buy a gaming console used for $150 and then play that exact same $60 title on that system. And of course, I get a...
This is a free base model, bro. Free. Okay, for instance, right? Say you want to buy a game, Destiny. Let's use Destiny 2 for example, right? You cannot buy an Xbox, right, and buy Destiny 2 and play Destiny 2 the way it is for free. You have to pay for the Xbox Live monthly subscription to be able to play Destiny. So what are you talking about, bro? Like, Google is offering a free base. All you have to do is purchase a game and you're good to go. You don't have to buy a system. You don't have to pay monthly if you don't want to. For Xbox, you have to buy a system, then you have to purchase the game, then you have to worry about paying monthly fees for it. It's mind-boggling.
Physical copy of that version as well, and then I can resell that physical copy or gift it to a friend. So there's...
But if you're a collector, you don't resell your games though. You store your games. So the collectors that making the argument, you want your physical stuff. No collectors resell the game. They keep all the games. So yes, you can lend it, but again, if you're a collector, you're anal to who, sorry to use that word, but you're mindful of who you lend your game to because you don't want to scratch. You're a collector because you like the best, neatest disc, right? So you're not gonna lend, be real, you're not gonna lend your disc away.
There's a lot of value proposition lost in choosing to play a game on Google Stadia. But then it's also more inconvenient for most players. Unless I'm that magical unicorn that likes to play video games on the go, then chances are it's going to be more inconvenient for me to have to deal with data caps and deal with internet surges and deal with the internet being down and deal with just the fact that I don't have very good internet at my home. But I would...
So the only thing, sorry I keep pausing, the only thing restricting Stadia from being awesome is the fact that the internet is limited. This is the argument here, right? Because the internet, number one, is not where it should be speed-wise. Number two, has data cap. That's why this is going to fail. So apart from everything else that this is going to provide, the only thing that you are doubtful about is the fact that the internet is restricting this from being a great service, right? So what if I was to tell you that when the service launched, that the latency is not going to be that big of an issue that all you YouTubers are making it to be? Would that put some bandage on that wound for you? What if I told you, like Phil Harrison was saying, I don't know how accurate this is, but if the cable companies work on, you know, removing that data cap, would that put that bandage to make the wound not hurt as much? You guys, you're afraid of a service that you haven't even tried yet. You're afraid that this might not be successful, but the truth of the matter is, first, it's not out yet. Second, you haven't tried it. What if to say that this actually works, right? Latency is not an issue and the data situation is gone. Then this would be a successful platform or service.
In order to save that money. You know what would be an even better system is if for one monthly fee, I got access to a lot of new and older video games that I could stream whenever I wanted to. You remember? The Netflix of gaming. But instead of that brilliant business plan, they are going with a completely different one where you have to pay the exact same price for a video game and play it in a much more inconvenient way. Now, I will go on to say that a game like Destiny 2 is a very good choice to give away for free because players will continue to come back to play it on Google Stadia. Here's the thing, once this game goes free to play, if Stadia continues to allow even free players who do not have a subscription to the service to play Destiny 2 as a free play the game on Google Stadia, knowing they'll make money off the microtransactions, then I think this could be one of the flagship games that will really get people to try the service and hopefully put up with the inconvenience. There just needs to be a lot more games like it. I mean, sure, there's got to be a lot of kids out there who do not have a phone or do not have a device that can play Fortnite. If they had a game like Fortnite being played through Google Stadia, maybe even Fortnite itself, and it was free to play for even free players, knowing they'll make money off microtransactions, then that might be a really great flagship opportunity for them. And of course, if Google Stadia was launching with a high-end exclusive that everybody was excited about, then that could be really amazing. But instead, we have games like...
First of all, to clarify the free-to-play games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Google has officially said that those games are coming. They said they haven't announced anything, but they've said that those games are coming. So because it hasn't been announced yet, don't mean that they're not coming. But I like what you're saying. It is a good way for Google Stadia to market, right? Offering free games for people to test out the service for the base free model, right? So I get that, but those games potentially are still coming. Just because they haven't been announced yet, again, does not mean that they are not coming.
Get Packed, which is coming in 2020. It's not even a launch title. So the exclusives for Google Stadia are
Guilt is another one, potentially.
Don't know why that's going to draw anybody to the platform. And don't get me wrong, Google Stadia is innovating in some ways that I'm still excited about. The state share ability to allow me to share with you the exact state that I'm currently playing in a game and have you hop right into it. Or the ability for a streamer to be able to share stuff like that with their viewers or even play with their viewers together by just a click of a button if they have Google Stadia. This is all really good stuff, but it's not enough to get your average consumer involved. Your average consumer is looking for two different things here: convenience and saving money. And if somehow you wrap those two together, then you will revolutionize gaming. As it is right now, Google Stadia is doing neither of those things, so it's going to be a...
So two things he said: convenience and saving money. First of all, Nintendo Switch has dominated the convenience part, being able to play anywhere, anytime. So we know that that model is successful, right? Because the Switch is doing it and there's a lot of interest. That's why it's selling so hot. The saving money part, the Switch is not saving anybody any money. No one is saving anybody any money, let's be real. But Google is offering a free base model. How is that not saving people money? I just don't get that. You don't have to pay for it.
Very rocky start. I don't know. I do have my Founders Pack ordered right now, and I do look forward to playing around with it.
Don't get it.
Watch me do it.
Don't
At the
get
end of
it,
the day,
please.
Even though I have really good internet, I still expect to run into problems. I have, because I played it at E3 and I ran into some minor problems there.
Okay.
Now, all of this is just one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and if I
I
am,
hope.
I know you're going to let me know in the comment section
Yeah.
below. While you're down there, do me a favor, check out that link to Audible in the description
Yo, stop marketing these guys, bro.
box below. So glad
Come
to
on.
have Audible back. We're so grateful to have them sponsoring the channel once again. Hopefully we'll sponsor us again in the next few months, if enough of you decide to go get a free audiobook by using my link. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you.
So he said, so glad to have Audible back sponsoring these videos. I'm just curious if Audible's and Amazon, they're like, yo, the only reason we'll get you back is if you make a hate video for the Google Stadia, because they're a rivalry and they're competition. I don't know, but yo, just 2 months ago you were talking about how you tested the service at E3 and how, you know, it's pretty dope. There's still some issues with the latency that you experience, but overall it's a positive experience. And then, you know, a month or 2 months later it's likely to fail. Anyway, yo, Boogie, I like this dude. Again, I've watched his other Stadia videos, but yeah, I think money's going into some of these YouTubers' pocket, man. I think that's what it's coming down to. And I like that he has a founders pack at least. You know, he's not bashing it without. It seems like he's made the purchase, so he's gonna test it out, which is kudos, right? You have other YouTubers who are just bashing Stadia without even testing it, so at least this guy already has a founders pack purchase, so kudos to you for that. But you make some, this is the base model, and that's offering consumers discounted service. You're not having to pay monthly, and you can still experience a great streaming option. Yeah, you can pay $10 a month, but the reality is you don't have to. If you don't want 4K and 5.1 audio surround sound, you can just be comfortable streaming 1080p with stereo sound. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, that's totally cool. But Boogie makes some more positive Stadia videos. I believe those are good. It's going to be interesting to see how this video does compared to his other E3 Stadia videos. Again, if people bash Stadia, if they talk negative about Stadia, the views goes up. Okay, so let's just see how this does compared to his other videos. Alright fellas, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Till next time, peace.